Welcome. Today, more and more app owners would like to monetize their own apps and make some money with their own apps. So today we're going to focus on one of the ways at Shoutem how to monetize it and how to make some money. For that purposes, today we're going to dive deeper into in-app purchases, in-app subscription functionality available at Shoutem. It's the process of setting it up. It's a bit complex. It's a bit complicated because you have to pay attention on several things and there's a lot of moving parts. And also you will be communicating a lot with our support team. So to begin with, first I'm going to show you how to install that functionality in Shoutem, and then I'm going to switch to our support article, which is very long, and I'm going to show you all the details that you have to fill in, all the information that you have to fill in, and when to communicate and how to communicate with our support team in order to activate in-app purchases in your app. So let's start creating your app. Click there, and let's start from a blank app. I opened several tabs. So one is support article and another one is in-app purchase hub, which is a provider that we integrated with Shoutem, so that allows you subscriptions basically in your app. So at the moment the app is empty, so you can always add a couple of screens. So let's do that quickly. And in order to find and install subscriptions, you have to go to extensions, click plus, search for subscriptions and install it. Once you do that, you have to go to the settings tab. In the settings tab under extension settings, you have to go to the subscription section. To begin with, let me walk you to the main navigation and a few tabs available. General, we're going to leave that for later because in order to fill in all this information, you do that actually a lot later. But you have to fill in subscriptions restrictions. So basically, which screens would you like to unlock behind a paywall, behind a subscription, entire app, or just some of the screens. You have to enter privacy policy URL link, terms of service URL link, and subscription screen. Subscription screen will basically pop up when somebody tries to enter that particular locked screen. So you have to enter subscription title, description, image, and confirmation messages. Okay, couple of things. I'm going to switch between the builder and the support article. You have to make sure that you have three things. You have to provide us access to Google Play Console and App Store Connect. You have to create in-app hub account, which is right there, and enter store metadata in your app, which is under settings, store metadata, and enter all the information. Okay, even the app info, etc. So basically your app has to be done. I'm going to switch to the step 3 because we already entered and installed the subscription extension inside of your app. Once you enter all this information, you have to click publish button. So once you enter all this information, store metadata, everything besides general, you have to click the publish button and immediately reach out to our support team to activate and set up and help you with the setup of in-app purchases, in-app subscription. So first things first, you have to connect your in-app purchase setup with the App Store Connect. And how to do that? You have to log in to your App Store Connect. you have to go to basically first accept the paid apps agreement, which is under the tax agreements and banking, and the paid apps has to be active. Once this is done, you have to navigate to the tab called subscriptions. Okay. Then, as a next step, these are the steps how to create your auto renewable subscription, which can be one tier only, and it can be weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, and even yearly. So you have to create a auto renewable subscription. So you have to click create button and basically name that group of users who will be having a subscription. A new settings page will open where you can create a subscription. You would have to click create button under subscription, enter the reference name as well as the product ID of your choice. On this page, you will have to insert a mandatory piece of information regarding your subscription, such as, for example, subscription duration, price, localization, etc. So duration, as I already mentioned, it can be every week, every month, every 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or even a year. And please use it as the same period for both iOS and Android store. So as you can see, there you are deciding duration of the subscription. Prices. You can select the prices from the drop-down menu, which is defined by Apple. Also, you can have some introductory offer where you can set up a free trial. Depends on you how long would that be. On top of that, you can have some promotional codes, etc. Not mandatory, but you can always use that or skip it or do it later on. You can localize it to basically other languages. App Store promotion is not something that we support at the moment, unfortunately, but we plan to do it, so you can skip that. And review information, which is super important. You have to add review notes so that Apple review team knows exactly how the subscription works. The next step is clicking Save button on the upper right corner, as you can see it right here. App Store localization is mandatory as well, and all you need is the name of your reference group that will be visible, the reference group that you did at the beginning, that's going to be visible to the users when they manage subscription on their devices. After you completed in-app purchase product setup, you have to generate app-specific shared key. As mentioned earlier, you will get back to this general section in the subscriptions in our builder, and you will need that information. And this is how you do it. You just generate the app-specific key, copy paste it, save it somewhere. You don't even have to close this window yet, because as I said, you will need that shared secret key and a product ID once you start setting up in-app hub later on. Okay, so this part with Apple Store Connect is done for the moment. So let's switch to the Google Play in-app purchase setup. So once you invited us into your Google Play console, make sure that you have Google Payments Merchant account, because you will need to configure Google Play API by completing a couple of step tutorial provided by in-app hub, and you can go to that documentation page right here. If you click there, it's going to give you even more details. This API is needed so that your app can communicate with in-app hub and Google Play. In a Google Play console, you have to open your app, navigate to monetize, choose subscription, and click create subscription. From there on, you will add the following: to begin with, product ID of your choice. So similar basically to the Apple reference group name. So basically you can choose it and give the name to your subscription. Base plan, again, very similar to Apple, where you'll set the prices, base plan ID and tags, as well as define the renewal type, which is the same, should be the same. We suggest the same as with the iOS. So if it's going to be a week on iOS, make sure if it's a week on Android as well. Once you complete that base plan settings, you have to click activate. So basically you have to click activate, which is right there. If you would like to add, as on Apple Store Connect, a free trial, you have to go back to the main menu and choose add offer. Okay, so add offer, and you can enter how long would that offer be. Once you've finished with phases, activate your offer. Memorize your Android product ID, since you will be using it for in-app hub setup, as well as the setup in the builder. Okay, so now you're done with iOS and Google. So let's switch to in-app hub setup. So we are the partners for quite some time, and we are extremely happy with them. And there's like really a lot of apps, especially in the last couple of years, that are using in-app hub and Shoutem's in-app purchases for their apps. So let's start with setup. There's an entire tutorial here how to set up the account, but the process is kind of similar with Apple and Google Connect. Once the app is created, so basically follow these steps to complete the setup. So once you create an account, you can create an account there. You have to go to the settings and set up the Android app, basically as explained in step 4. You'll need the JSON file that you get from them, okay, which is super important. Bundle ID can be found in the app info tab in the builder. So basically, once you publish your app in the store metadata, it's going to be right here, basically. Okay, so this is the step number 1. On the same page, set up iOS app is explained here. So you'll need app-specific shared key from the step earlier, and you have to go to App Store Connect app setup of this article. So bundle ID can be found also in the app info, also right here, and you will have the bundle ID. All right. Open the product tab in App Hub, and there you will need product IDs for that. Add your product as a listing in listing tab and activate it as explained here. So there's a bunch of other tutorials from the eApp Hub that you can read through. But if you follow these instructions, you shouldn't have any issues with setting it up. And that's it for in-app hub. And once again, you need to have an active subscription with in-app hub in order to finish the entire setup. So now let's go back to Shoutem. The last step in this entire setup is the configuration in the builder. And you will need iOS and Android product ID from the steps earlier, client API from the in-app hub, and in-app hub app ID from them. Okay, so as the last step, you have to go to the general section in subscription and enter, basically first enable this. Once you enable this, and enter iOS product ID, Android product ID from the in-app hub settings, app ID, API key, and that's it. Okay. Everything has to be added before you hit the save button in order to everything to work. Once you are done with all this, you have to reach out to our support team and they will take it from there. So I understand that this process sounds a little bit complicated, but if you just follow the instructions for App Store Connect, App Store, Google Play, and in App Hub, it's not going to be complicated. There's just basically deciding what's the pricing, what's the group's name, how often would you like to charge uh, your subscribers, and then basically connect all those things. So once you gather all those information, go back to Shoutem into subscriptions general tab and enter all that information. And this is basically how that screen can look like. The screen that you edited here. Basically, when somebody tries to enter that specific screen, they will have an option to subscribe, and it's going to tell them automatically how long and how often will the subscription last. If you have already an app with Shoutem, subscribed app, live app on Apple and Google Store, you can skip a couple of steps and basically resubmit the app, set up all this. Don't need to install the new version, etc. You just have to reach out to our support team once you enter all this information, and you can start. You can start from there. You cannot see this information, the numbers and the dollars, etc., by default in the live preview disclose app, but that's intentionally. All the numbers and the pricings that you added are going to be automatically visible once the app gets live and once Apple and Google approve the app. A couple of like bonus tips that you can have on both iOS and Android. So you can create promotional codes. So basically, for Google, you can log into your Google Play console, find promo codes in the monetize section, and insert all the information. Basically, promotion name, when is the start, end time, promotion type, paid, in-app product, subscription, and how many codes would you be providing. Also, you can create promo codes and share it in, for example, in push notification. You can create a codes, and then the user can go to their Google Play account, click payments and subscription, choose redeem a gift card or promo, and basically use it like that. With iOS, it's kind of similar. So you can also create codes in App Store Connect by clicking the plus button next to subscription and prices, and you have to insert the offer reference name, customer, introductory offers, countries and regions, type of offer, and duration of the offer. It looks something like this, basically just filling in all this information. So this is nothing complicated. Once you are done, you have to click on the offer, click create one-time user codes, choose the number of codes to create and the expiration date, and click create and download the codes. Redeeming, it's very similar. Basically, a user can log into their App Store account, choose redeem gift card or code, click. You can also enter your code manually, insert one of the promo codes from the downloaded file, click redeem, and when the users open the app and go to one of the restricted screens, just choose restore. So this is more or less it when it comes to in-app subscription and in-app purchases. I know this is a lot of information, but that's why we are creating this video, just to explain to you and walk you through the process from our support article, which took a lot of effort into creating, because it is very, very detailed, and if you follow all those instructions, you shouldn't have any issues. But if you do, please do reach out to our support team and they will assist you. You have to be in touch with them anyways in order to finish all this process and start monetizing your app with in-app subscription or in-app purchase. I really hope this video was helpful. Again, any questions, go through our support articles, go through in-app hub support articles, reach out to us. More than happy to help, and let's start monetizing your app. Thank you.